We have new details this afternoon on the deadly Amtrak derailment that killed 4 people and injured dozens. Right now, you're looking at the NTSB's very first update to the media since yesterday's crash. The agency's investigators arrived on the scene in rural Missouri this morning. A spokesperson is outlining the steps a 16-member team will take over the next several days. The NTSB will comb through every detail surrounding the wreck and will piece together a comprehensive timeline to determine the cause of the derailment. NewsNation's Kelly Beeson joins us live now. And Kelly, what have we learned?
Well, this afternoon, Rutabaga, we learned that train hit the back of a dump truck as that truck was crossing the tracks. We also learned that the Missouri Department of Transportation released a plan this year citing a need to improve safety at that very rail crossing in January. The plan was submitted to the Federal Railroad Administration that included a list of proposed improvements, such as the installation of lights and gates, along with other upgrades. According to a BNSF spokesperson, the group that owns the track, if the state wants an upgrade, the next step is a site review. Local residents have complained that the overgrowth of brush and the steep incline from the road to the tracks makes it hard to see oncoming trains from either direction. And one local farmer we spoke with, Mike Spencer, refers to that intersection as deadly, adding that there's no signal or gate at the crossing. He says the dump truck driver who was hit and killed was hauling rock for a levee on a local creek. Spencer says he's taken his concerns about this steep hill approaching the double set of train tracks to the county commissioners and to the railroad.
Whenever you cross here with a combine, you have to actually put your steering wheel all the way forward, stand up out of the seat while you're trying to climb that approach and cross, and plus look down the track both ways.
Now, as of now, the damaged tracks have been repaired and freight trains are operating. NTSB investigators were at the scene today trying to determine how the accident happened and why the truck was on the tracks. Amtrack is a federally supported company that operates more than 300 passenger trains daily in nearly every U.S. state and parts of Canada. People have been injured or killed in at least 6 other accidents involving Amtrak trains since 2015. In fact, just this past Sunday, 3 people in a car were killed when an Amtrak commuter train smashed into it in Northern California, Rutabaga.
Kelly, thank you. And more than 24 hours after the deadly train derailment, many of the passengers are still unable to make it home to see their loved ones. Sarah Birkin is a mother to her son, to a Boy Scout, Isaac, and he is one of the brave people who jumped into action to help his fellow passengers. So, Sarah, I know it's been a harrowing couple of days. Thank you so much for being here with us. Do you know when you'll be reunited with your son?
We are still waiting confirmation, but we are getting closer to a concrete plan. As far as exactly when and where, details are still forthcoming, but we're feeling more confident now towards the end of the day, more so than we were at the beginning of the day.
It's just unimaginable to think about what you went through as a mother. Like, what is the process you've had to go through now to even get in touch with him, to try to get him back to Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's been difficult 24 to now we're on to 16 hours. Initially, it was absolute fear until we were able to get in touch with him. He lost his phone when the when the train crashed, and we did not hear his voice until about an hour later. And then at that point, we confirmed that all of our troop was accounted for, that adults were accounted for, that there were some injuries. They were taken to a safe place and taken care of last night. We can't say enough about the local Boy Scout moms in Missouri that jumped to our aid and when we were not able to be there to help us. We spent overnight trying to, with the help of Amtrack, to try to figure out transportation for our boys to get back. And it became a little bit more challenging than we were hoping for. But at this point, we're feeling much more confident that we'll see them soon.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that everyone's okay. And not only are they okay, but they jumped in and helped other people using their training. Sarah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, super proud of our boys, super proud of our adult leaders. They did what they have trained to do, and they didn't hesitate. They instinctively jumped into action and did what they could to help other people, to help make sure that they were okay and make sure that the passengers were okay, and they don't see it as heroic. They see it as just what anyone would do in that situation, but they did it very well.
Well, we're so glad they're okay tonight, and thank you for making the time for us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.